How do dismissive avoidants finally get better? The answer is not simply learning how to love someone else, but learning how to feel safe within themselves. For many dismissive avoidants, emotional distance is not a lack of feelings, but a protective system built over years of avoiding vulnerability. They often learn early in life that depending on others can lead to disappointment, rejection, criticism, or emotional pain. Because of this, they create a strong independence that makes them feel protected, but it can also prevent deep emotional connection. A dismissive avoidant may appear calm, confident, and unaffected, while secretly struggling with emotions they do not know how to express. Their journey toward healing begins when they realize that emotional closeness is not a threat, but a natural human need. The first major step is developing awareness about their own emotional patterns and understanding why they push people away. Many dismissive avoidants are not intentionally trying to hurt their partners. They are often responding through learned survival strategies. They may withdraw during conflict, avoid serious conversations, or feel uncomfortable when someone wants emotional reassurance. But healing starts when they stop viewing these reactions as personality traits and begin seeing them as patterns that can change. A dismissive avoidant becomes healthier when they learn that vulnerability does not mean weakness or losing control. For years, they may have believed that showing emotions makes them dependent or gives others power over them. But true emotional strength comes from being able to recognize feelings, communicate honestly, and stay connected. The next important step is learning emotional awareness instead of immediately shutting down uncomfortable feelings. Many avoidants have become experts at ignoring sadness, fear, loneliness, or insecurity because those emotions feel overwhelming. They may distract themselves with work, hobbies, isolation, or constant independence to avoid facing emotional discomfort. However, healing requires them to sit with their emotions and understand what those feelings are trying to communicate. When they learn to identify their emotions, they slowly become more comfortable sharing their inner world with others. Another important part of healing is understanding that relationships do not have to remove their freedom or independence. Many dismissive avoidants fear that intimacy means losing themselves or becoming trapped by another person's expectations. This fear can cause them to create unnecessary distance even when they genuinely care about someone. A healthier avoidant learns that a secure relationship allows both partners to maintain individuality while still creating emotional closeness. They begin to understand that needing someone occasionally does not make them weak or incapable. It simply means they are allowing themselves to experience the full range of human connection. One of the biggest changes happens when dismissive avoidants learn healthier communication skills. Instead of disappearing during emotional moments, they start expressing what they feel and what they need. They learn that saying, "I need some time to process this," is much healthier than completely shutting someone out. They also begin replacing silence with honest conversations that build trust and emotional safety. Another major breakthrough comes when they stop choosing emotional distance as their automatic response. A dismissive avoidant who is healing learns to pause before reacting and ask themselves why they want to escape. They begin recognizing whether they are truly uncomfortable or simply afraid of emotional closeness. This small moment of awareness can completely change how they handle relationships. Healing also requires understanding the difference between healthy independence and emotional avoidance. Healthy independence means enjoying personal space while still being capable of emotional connection. Emotional avoidance means using distance as a shield to prevent feelings, intimacy, or possible rejection. A healed dismissive avoidant does not lose their independence. They simply stop using it as a wall. They learn that letting someone get close does not automatically mean they will be controlled or abandoned. Another important step is learning to receive love without immediately questioning it. Many dismissive avoidants struggle when someone shows them affection because it feels unfamiliar or uncomfortable. They may search for problems, create distance, or convince themselves they do not need anyone. But over time, they can learn that genuine care is something they can accept without fear. They become more comfortable with compliments, emotional support, and meaningful conversations. A dismissive avoidant also improves when they start healing the beliefs they developed about relationships. Some believe that people are unreliable, emotions are dangerous, or closeness always leads to disappointment. These beliefs often protect them from pain, but they can also prevent them from experiencing healthy love. Changing these beliefs requires patience, self-reflection, and sometimes professional support. The healing journey is not about becoming a completely different person overnight. It is about becoming a more balanced version of themselves who can enjoy both independence and connection. A dismissive avoidant who is improving may still need alone time, but they no longer use distance to avoid emotional responsibility. They may still feel uncomfortable during deep conversations, but they learn to stay present instead of escaping. They may still experience fear of vulnerability, but they become brave enough to move through that fear. One of the biggest signs of healing is when they start repairing instead of withdrawing. Instead of ignoring problems, they begin addressing misunderstandings and rebuilding emotional trust. They realize that conflict does not mean a relationship is failing. It can actually create deeper understanding. They also learn that a loving partner is not asking them to be perfect, but simply emotionally available. The final stage of growth happens when a dismissive avoidant understands that closeness is a choice, not a danger. They no longer see emotional intimacy as something that takes away their freedom or independence. Instead, they recognize that true security comes from being comfortable with both themselves and others. A healed dismissive avoidant becomes someone who can love deeply while still maintaining their own identity. They learn that opening their heart does not make them vulnerable to destruction, but capable of genuine connection. The journey may take time, but every small step toward emotional awareness creates a healthier relationship with themselves and others. Because the goal is not to remove their independence, but to combine independence with emotional security. And when a dismissive avoidant finally learns this balance, they discover something they once feared. Real connection does not trap them. It gives them a place where they can finally feel understood, accepted, and emotionally free. If you found this video helpful, remember that healing from avoidant patterns is a journey, not a quick transformation. True emotional growth happens when we learn to understand ourselves, face our fears, and create healthier connections. If you enjoyed this topic, make sure to subscribe for more psychology insights, relationship advice, and deeper understanding of human behavior. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.